So applications of AI. So I mean, these are four applications, but I would say AI is now being applied everywhere. I mean, literally everywhere. I'm not even exaggerating about it, but yeah. So, but here to mention a few of them is healthcare, and to give you some examples, very simple example, like if you have a disease, now how do you detect whether you have that disease or not? Like, let's say, COVID, let's say, which is a pretty recent example. So you have some symptoms, let's say cough and cold, and you have some vomiting or something other symptoms. So you could make a model, like what are the symptoms you have and whether you have COVID or not. So your output is whether you have COVID or not, and your input would be the symptoms that you have. you know and if you have enough data that these are the symptoms for a COVID positive person, and these are the symptoms for a COVID negative person. I mean, then we can build a model, and then when a new person comes in, and we can just give his symptoms as an input to the model, and we can just predict whether this person has COVID or not. So this is one basic example. And yeah, anybody else working in this field might share their examples that they have. Okay. Okay. So, finance. Okay. So this is a field which is pretty close to my heart because I have been working in this field. Like I had worked in this field actually for 4 years. And what I used to do is that so I used to work in credit and fraud risk. So what we have to do is that uh, suppose you are approaching a bank for a loan, for a loan or any credit, any card or anything. So what we used to do is that we used to get your history, you know, mm, whatever, like your credit history actually, not your personal history, of course, but your credit history. For example, how many bank accounts you have, how many cards you have, how many loans you have existing, and how much debt you have total, and all those things. What is your salary, income, and everything. And based on that, we used to build a model which judges your credit worthiness. So when the bank gives you a loan, they are not give loan to anybody, right? They are going to judge whether you can pay back that loan or not, right? So if you can't pay back their loan, then the bank will be in loss. Right? So first they use your credit history, your previous data, your track record, and based on that they build a model, and using that model they give you a risk score, which is basically higher the score, let's say more riskier you are, more there is more probability that you are going to default, you're not going to pay the bank back. So if you have a very high risk score, that means you are going to get rejected. You you're not going to get that loan, right? uh, on the other hand, if you have a lower risk score, you're gonna the bank is going to give you the loan, right? So yeah, that is basically pretty much what we have to do. And another thing is autonomous vehicles, right? So yeah, Tesla, of course, and now I think in India as well, Mahindra and Tata, and everybody is going to the business, and this is pretty much the future actually. You know, so I think in YouTube you can get a video, when you have like that was very old video actually back in the 2000s when the US military was using it was in the very early days of you know machine learning and deep learning, where the US military was using their car to go through a road, and they have a camera attached to the like sort of a dash cam. Uh, can you mute yourself? Okay. Okay. So you sort of have a dash cam which looks to the road, and the AI system that was installed in the car, that kind of can has trained itself so that it can distinguish between what is the road and what is the uh, roadside, the grass at the side of the road, or maybe, and it directs the vehicle along the path such that it goes always to the road. And it was showing that that since the system was trained to travel on kind of a one lane road, so when that car was coming into an intersection, or let's say a multiple lane road, it was not able to predict correctly, and it was going off the track, and because the model was not trained on that kind of uh, uh, data. So I think it's a beautiful example on not which shows that you cannot just blindly train your model on any data. You have to make sure that whatever the training data you use to um, uh, model your system, same should be the similar should be the test data as well, right? So yeah, there are some minor such subtleties involved, and which we will learn along the way. Another is NLP. Yeah, of course. So I mean, everybody has heard of Chat GPT and chat bots and uh, all those things. So those are examples of NLP. The NLP stands for, yeah, for those who don't know, NLP stands for natural language processing. So it has to do with how we can interpret language, not just data, raw numbers or something. How we can interpret language, and you know so ChatGPT involves very uh, abstruse kind of models. You require word to vec and transformer kind of things, which are like even I mean, first you have to learn neural networks, and then you have to learn those things. So yeah, if in the future videos, if I get time, I will explain how it works. But yeah, for now, I think yeah, those are few of the examples. Also, not only NLP, you must have received some automated phone calls. Those are also like chatbots, any chatbots. So nowadays, you go into any website, and you type in some your query, and the chatbot analyzes your query and gives a response. So those are the examples of NLP. So as the name suggests, natural language processing. So it processes your language, the language we speak, English or any other language we speak, and the system analyzes your language, and you know uh, trains a model according to that and gives an appropriate response. Right? So the output is the response in this case. The input is your the user query basically. Yeah, right. So yeah, anybody else wants to add any application? Do you guys work in any field? Yeah, right, right. True, true, true. True. Google search engine, and then like how you rank those websites. I mean, when you search Google, when you search for a query, I mean, most of the time you get at the top what you want, right? You don't have to go into second and third pages. I mean, if you have to go into second and third pages of Google, that means you are probably not getting what you want. So most of the things, uh, Google ranks their websites based on that as well. So there are, yeah, that is a good example of how NLP works in Google. ML in scientific research, yes. I mean, as I said, ML is used everywhere now, in physics, astronomy, biology, everywhere, everywhere. So yeah, I mean, it would take a lot of time to cover all the examples, but if you guys are working in any field where you are using ML, uh, please share your experience. Image segmentation, right? The way, yeah, fraud detection I covered in finance. Yeah, Along with credit risk, fraud detection can also be done. Uh, right. Image detection, of course, yeah. Right. Image detection is actually the fundamental basis of neural networks. That's how. I mean, neural networks are mostly used in that in image detection. Okay, so let's recommendation system using ML, right? Yeah, movie recommendation. Yeah, even like these e-commerce websites, like Amazon or Flipkart or whatever. They use recommendation system. So you search for some dress on Google or Amazon, whatever. You'll see an ad coming um, whenever you open another website, which recommends you based on the things you have searched or looked up in Amazon and Flipkart. That's a, yeah, recommendation system is a good example.